What's up, protectors? Hey, guess what, guys? You can finally order yourself some merch. I got t-shirts and bucket hats. Head on over to palmmerch.bigcartel.com where we got them on sale for you. Looking right for the summer, looking bright. Hey, if you down with the thickness, get you some Thiccness Protection Program merch. Kylie BBW and Spanish Barbiie in the house.
Let them know you like them, guys.
Because we want thickness.
Yeah.
Following is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
We want thickness.
What is up, protectors? You are now tuned into the Thiccness Protection Program. This is the podcast celebrating body positivity for the adult content creator community. And if you don't already know, I am the Thiccness Pro. Well, we got Kat, aka Spanish Barbiie, in the house today.
Hello.
And you know who couldn't just stop through my city of LA coming from the Bay without stopping by the Thiccness Protection Program once again is the lovely Kylie BBW.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, ladies. Thank you for
Cheers.
coming over, kicking it with
Absolutely.
me.
Cheers.
Getting down with the
Cheers.
thickness.
Pardon the interruption, protectors, but this is Pimpin' Palm, the Mac and Memoji. And before we go any further in this interview, I'm gonna need you to click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification bell. And if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you are following the podcast. And please leave a rating before you get up on out of here. Now back to the Thiccness Protection Program. Pimpin' Palm, the Mac and Memoji. You dig?
We want thickness.
So, Kat, take me back. How did you get started in the business, and how long you been doing this?
So I have been doing modeling for years, since my early 20s. I couldn't wait to get started doing that shit, to be honest with you. And I feel like my entire life, I never had an issue with, like, being revealing or just, like, I never saw an issue with being naked or half naked. Like my family used to say, oh, why do you dress half naked? And because it's just, I wanted to, right? So I did the modeling, and then it went to boudoir modeling, so like the lingerie, the sexy stuff. And then it was just nude. It was like, I'll take the top off. Sure, no problem. And then OnlyFans came around because I was doing the modeling, and it was a hobby for me. I loved doing it. You know, I had a regular job. I was doing it on the side, and honestly just made me feel good about myself. I didn't know per se like where I wanted to go, but I was like, fuck it. I'm in, my 20s. I'm enjoying myself. Then I saw OnlyFans, and then it was like a business came to mind. I was like, holy shit. And I had all these beautiful nude photos of me and stuff that I couldn't post anywhere because I couldn't post it on Instagram, I got 10 pages later. But so I'm like, I saw an opportunity. I'm like, all these guys want to see me naked. They always are messaging me, bothering me, and blah, 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 and I don't want to talk to them. And then there was like an idea where, hey, there's a spot where they can speak to you and they have to pay you, and then they can pay you for your nudes. I was like, well, shit. I was like, I don't got nothing to lose. So I started doing that. Like I said, when OnlyFans became a thing like 4 years ago. And then just throughout the years, it was like, well, let's push the envelope a little bit. I was like, let's see. But then I had a vanilla job, so I really wasn't sure.
For the vanilla
everything.
Oh,
everything.
hustler, baby.
Everything. Like so I went to school. I did the whole school thing because I grew up in a Spanish household. You couldn't not go to school. That was not going to fucking happen.
Education is key.
Yeah. Well, okay. Anyway, but no, because, I went to school. I'm not going to say I wasted 4 years, but, I have my degree, and that's cool, but, it's just a paper that hangs on my wall, to be really honest with you. It was cost me a lot of fucking money, that piece of paper.
Shit, I got one of them expensive pieces of paper at home
A lot
myself.
of us do.
I mean, granted, it made me who I am, but,
right.
To
yeah,
each his
it's
own,
an experience, and I wouldn't take back,
That part.
the whole experience, for nothing, but I do, it should not fucking have cost that much fucking money, though. I'll be so honest with you. But anyway, so I did everything that, my family wanted to do, what was expected me to do. I went to school, and then I got a degree in business management, which, please, don't do that. Anybody who's listening, not get a degree, please. Anytime someone tells me, a young kid, I'm like, don't do that. Go change your major, because it's just, you don't need a business management degree to open your own business. And that's something that I wanted to do, forever. But anyway, so yeah, I did everything. I had these, so I worked at listen, my best job was at T-Mobile. I don't give a damn. Fucking love that damn job. If you know how to talk and you're pretty and all that, you could sell fucking phones.
Yeah, I could imagine being pretty matches their pink aesthetic.
And your personality, all that shit, gift of gab, all that. You know what I mean? Like, so I would. That was like probably my favorite like job. I worked at a school. I got fired because they found out what I did. That was a turning point for me.
I won't even volunteer at my son's school because of that. I'm like in and out. I'll make a cash donation, but I ain't working the PTA.
Yeah.
Speaking of sons, one of the things you guys have in common is that both you have only children, and they're both like 14 years old, which is interesting.
Which means we're equally annoyed.
Yeah.
over it.
And
yeah.
the thing you and I have in common is that we're both 92 babies, so we're both Mac Miller babies.
I just turned 31 a few weeks ago.
And I'm going to leave myself out of that part.
No, stop.
40 and fabulous.
Yeah,
40 and fabulous.
Beautiful. So yeah, but anyway, so I did what was expected of me to do and shit like that, and I was just like, why the fuck am I holding back? At that point, I was like, I had gone through so many jobs, and nothing was really working out for me. Like, I got fucking fired from that teaching job, and I was like, obviously I was devastated because, first of all, the way they did it was so disrespectful. Like, I'll never forget that shit. But I had to take it as a blessing. I swear to God, because after that happened, I was able to go full force into my business because I couldn't before. I have a daughter, full-time job. Like, it's very hard when you don't have the time. So that was a blessing because then I was able to really like hone in on what I wanted to do and plan shit out. Like, it was hard for me to do that before. And then like I had the T-Mobile job, and then I went to Verizon, and then it took time. This all took time. I want everybody to know you don't start doing something like this and the next day you can quit your job. It took me years, like 4 years.
Exactly. It's not an A through Z thing. That's why there's all those letters in between.
And everybody's got their own situations, like, so whatever, your situation is different from the next person. So I was just grateful enough that I got to a point where I quit my full-time job because I was literally like, what am I fucking doing?
Right.
Like, why do I still, like, the extra money's cool, but, like, I want to be able to, like, if I want to go on trips and all that or do what I got to do for my business, like, that's more important to me than working at a fucking phone company. You know what I mean? Even though it was, like, good money, but I had to, like, focus. And so that's when after that, that's when it like really took off.
And the thing I always enjoy about covering this business so much is that all of you guys as the content creators are really entrepreneurs. Like, you are really selling the business of you, selling your personality, your vibes, in some cases, your bodies. Yeah. And that's not just the sex worker part, it's just selling yourself as the entrepreneurship.
Right, because I had went to school for business too. I studied accounting. Yeah, and I don't think that people realize, like, do I think it was the appropriate fit for me? No. Right. But do I think that I have gone substantially further in my sex work because I have accounting skills and marketing skills and other things that a lot of girls get into this lack? Yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you know what? One of my favorite protectors who's gotten down with the thickness, Coco the Goat, said, you know what, even if you are going to get into sex work, hey, early on, at least try to go to college.
Yeah,
so you can learn some skills, learn some things to fall back on, and then
have so
that
much
business
more
side on
you.
the back end. It ain't just showing your ass and your tits and all these things, I
have so much more respect for anybody, honestly, if they try shit.
Right.
I like when people are like, oh, I fucking, like me, I did everything, a little bit of everything. Where the only thing I didn't do was work in the food service, because that just... God bless you people out there who work in restaurants and shit.
Way back. Yeah. The closest thing I did to food service was working at a movie theater. And slinging that popcorn and them pretzels and cleaning up the theaters after motherfuckers is crazy.
So I because we're humans, but we're like so complex, and there's so many things that we like. But then it's not to say because you like dogs, okay, you're gonna be a vet. No, like you may just be like a groomer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that we have to figure out, and I feel like, how the fuck are you gonna figure out if you don't like just take chances?
Right.
Like, go take a class. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work out, then it's not for you. It's not for you. But like, I wouldn't consider that a failure. Like, all of my years in customer service, because that was primarily the jobs that I had, has definitely helped me do this OnlyFans, sex work, porn shit, like, it without a fucking doubt. There's times that I think, and I'm like, yo, like, I learned this shit working here, or my boss taught me this shit, and I never forgot it, and I swear to God, I use it all the time. So if someone has a job out there where I was feeling for a long time, like, this is a dead end, like, what the fuck am I doing? I promise you, all the things, all the experiences you're learning is gonna help you eventually. I promise you. You may not even realize it, but it does.
Right. So it sounds like it was kind of a domino effect from like working various 9-to-5s and hustling around
for sure.
to modeling, which became nude modeling.
Yes.
Then it went to OnlyFans. Lead me up to when you started doing hardcore shoots.
So that was like when because I knew, I was like, girl, you got to quit your job. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, listen, because people were already finding out like at T-Mobile and stuff, and they were cool about it, but at the same time, I also did not like all these men, even from like different stores, knowing what I did. They don't even know who I am.
Right.
And they're already like, I don't like that.
So instead of going in the store to get their phone fixed or upgraded, they're like,
they just come in there
to
talk to me. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. Like, I want to be taken serious. Like, and I genuinely tried my best to like keep the boundary. Like, this is where I work at. I'll shoot the shit with you guys, like here and there. But like, you know what I'm saying? This. I try to keep it separate. What was the question again? I got high brain again.
Hey, no problem. We're all, on the
Yo, it's like I got to talking and I was like, high brain.
Okay, so hardcore shoots.
Oh yeah, so okay, yeah, right. So then I had to like really think about it. I was like, I need to like quit my job, and especially if I wanted to take trips and stuff, I had to, because I was in Jersey. I was like, I'm gonna need to like travel. So I was like, all right, fuck that. So that was when I actually started, and I had done like everybody asked me like, how did I start like shooting? I like would have guys in my personal life that was just like, yo, just hold this phone. Like, that's how I started. I swear to God, like doing POV stuff. And this was a few years ago, so no one was expecting like technology and shit like that. Everybody had their fucking iPhone 12 or whatever the fuck.
And were you uploading them to amateur sites at the time?
Yeah. Okay. Like I had it, because then, the guys on OnlyFans would see me naked and see my pussy and shit. They'd be like, oh, I didn't see sex. All right. Let me call this motherfucker. Let me make plans Saturday night. Get you a little. That's literally how it started.
Tyrone.
Yeah,
hey,
and
man,
most guys are cool with it. Like the dudes that like, if I was fucking with them, they just didn't want their face to be shown anyway. I was like, all right, bet. So we just did some POV shit, and that's literally how it started. And then I was like, nah, like I need to like actually do this. Like I want to do like high quality shit. I want to have a cameraman. I want to have this. I want to have that. You realize you're like, yeah, I'm not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So did you invest in the equipment and such yourself personally, or did you shoot with a company after you got tired of the POVs?
So like I feel like when I first started, I started to make trips because I realized in Jersey it's not really like popping out there, like not really like. So I was selective with who I worked with, I would say, because most of the time we either would get a cameraman or the guy has his own camera and shit like that, and I'm like, hey, cool. I will invest in a camera. I will. I promise I will. That's just one of the things that I'm like, all right, like little by little I start getting my own shit. I got my own fucking ring lights and all that or whatever. But I do plan on getting a camera at some point. That's also something I need to like personally get more involved in is like,
Yeah, it's a buildup. I mean, the accumulating gear is like a thing. Kylie, how's it been like, with your content creation game, like getting the technology?
I'm not the best at it, but for me, sometimes it's about making the choice of what hat I wear. And I have a hard enough time being the model, the makeup artist, the hair artist, getting myself there. So I really like the creative freedom of being like, that's the one aspect I don't have to work with. I'm going to hire a fire videographer, and I can take faith that that's going to run well. Because sometimes I just get too overwhelmed, and then things start to fall apart, and the work isn't what I want it to be.
I like that she said that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens to all of us. We have so many things going on, and
only
if you're not
one
like,
person, man.
Yeah. I don't think
person.
people realize that about entertainment.
Oh,
and one other thing I wanted to touch on is when you really get into artists, it is definitely levels to this shit. I think we all have a similar story.
Absolutely.
And the thing, like, for example, this is going to be so far out the left, but with the gentlemen, I don't think that when gentlemen get into this, they realize that they're actually going to be catered to the male clientele. So, like,
speak on it.
One time I was at a content party, and I saw a round table of gentlemen discussing whether or not they were comfortable winking their asshole on camera for another man.
You better be.
Make it clap, nigga.
Yeah, exactly.
Wink,
One of them was like, I'm willing to grind a pillow. They all. But I think that's how it goes for all of us. You start with like basic sexy lingerie pictures and nudes, and now all of a sudden you're getting gangbanged or bukkake or whatever happens next, You
just never fucking know what the day's
never
going to bring.
know in this industry. You really don't.
Never know what the day's going to bring.
Never that. I mean, yeah, to both of you's point, as content creators and entrepreneurs, we are social media manager, producer,
everything.
Lead writer, financial bookkeeping,
customer service. I think that gets lost a lot.
Lead janitor and fried cook. So all of that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. In addition to your spicy content, you also have your YouTube channel, and I've learned a lot about you through watching those videos. You're off to a really cool start, I must say. You just went to Puerto Rico for your 31st birthday.
I did.
That was your second time out there?
I've been there 4 times.
4 times, my bad. Yeah.
But second time this year.
Is your family originally from out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my mother's Puerto Rican, my father's Colombian.
Right.
So I have a little mix.
I saw 2 flags in the bio.
Yeah, I got it here on my chest.
Let me see that one more time.
One more time.
Yeah. So, but I do have family out there. But when I go out there, I vacation. I love Puerto Rico.
Nice.
I'm honestly probably gonna get an Airbnb. Like I'm going to get an Airbnb.
Yeah. Get some type of timeshare or some type of place to live.
I feel like after being out there, I'm like, I can literally be making money off of a fucking apartment right now.
Nice.
Seriously. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's for anybody listening, there's business opportunities in Puerto Rico. Don't sleep on that beautiful little island. I love it out there.
Nice. Yeah. Do you feel like they get the same opportunities that we get here in the States? As far as if someone were to do what you do?
No.
No.
No, for sure. No. So even though, it's like we are part of the United States, obviously, like, and everybody knows that, and it's like good. It's really not. There's more bad than good, I'll say. For example, like I would love to live out there, but if you do live out there, it's just one of those things that understand that like things are going to be expensive to get out to you because of shipping and all that stuff. Like I know it may not be like whatever, like it's always like the little things, you know what I mean, that just kind of, and just like the way of life is so different out there. It's so laid back, but I will say that there are opportunities to make money out there because of the tourism. If you're a hustler out, shit, you could be selling hookahs and drinks on the beach and just everything. You know what I mean? Because I feel like since there aren't so many opportunities, you got to make them for yourself.
Right.
So you got like these people. I swear, like I the last time I was out there, I was just impressed by the level of hustle that there is, and with smiles on their faces, like, yeah, I'm doing this, and then I got a second job. But it's just like, I don't know, to me, like, it's inspiring, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, it's everybody's mentality, because we all could say that we're tired or make excuses or this or that, but like, there's people out there who like make it happen for themselves, who have less than you do, who have less of an opportunity than you do, who don't have this and you have that or whatever. But yeah, so
very dope.
Yeah.
So going back to YouTube, one of the topics I like that you discuss is like, you know, your personal life and how you just view things, you know, off camera. You know, you're not just like Spanish Barbiie the porn star. It's just like Kat the person, Kat the mom.
That's why I made the YouTube channel.
Cool young lady. Yeah,
because y'all see my porn. It's all over the fucking internet. But I was like, I don't ever want to become
locked into a box.
Yeah, and like disengaged or just forget who the fuck I am. I don't ever want to get lost in the sauce. Like,
well,
never,
one of the videos you had on there was like about the dating topic, and you know, from creators all over. It could be comedians like ourselves, or people in the sex industry, or people in the music industry, also like me. A unanimous decision amongst singles is that like dating sucks. Now,
all across the board, man. Doesn't matter what the fuck you do.
That's why you gotta pay me to do it.
Talk about it, hey.
It's the empowering factor right
Suck
there.
Suck some dough. Come on now. But
take your power back.
What I wanted to ask you, Kat, was one thing in particular you brought up was that like if a man is going to get involved with you intimately, what he needs to do is like also be open to doing things on camera.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Because that may make some guys feel a little uneasy.
Yeah, no, and I know the main reason, the number one reason is because of people's jobs. Like, and I respect that. Like, I can't ever like, you know, I've been with guys and they just weren't cool with being recorded, and it sucked for me, but at the same time, I would never pressure somebody.
Right.
Like, I would never do that. You know what I mean? I'll ask, like, well, your face doesn't have to be in the camera, but if they're still hesitant because they have tattoos or whatever the case may be, like, I'm never going to be one to, like, push somebody's, like, boundaries. Like, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't want someone to make me feel pressured. You know what I mean? So, like, it's just... It's like one of those things. Is it a like, all right, so if they can't film with me, will we have a chance? It's fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie to you, because then I know at some point he's probably gonna feel a type of way, like, oh well, she films with all these guys, and like there's not videos of us, and I'm like, well, you said that there can't. Like, there can't. Like, you said. You know what I mean? And I respect that. So I'm not, once you say no, I'm not going to keep asking. I'm not going to say, oh, did you change your mind like 3 weeks later? Like, you know, and then I wouldn't also want someone to necessarily quit their job. Like, oh, well, fuck it. I'm just going to, I wouldn't want someone to do that. Like, if you want to come in and do this, and maybe we want to do a couples thing or whatever the case may be that we fucking figure out, you got to be sure that you want to do this. Don't just quit because you feel like, oh, you're going to lose me or whatever. You know what I mean? Because, oh, if I don't film with her, but that's where it's tricky.
Right.
You know it really is tricky, and it's not, I don't know.
It's tricky to walk around. Well, let me ask you both this. With the, misconcepities, I hope that's a word, and the difficulties of dating and whatnot.
Sounded like it was
It is today.
Yeah, it is today. It is on the Thiccness Protection Program. Cheers, ladies.
Misconceptions.
Misconcepities.
I'm going to start using that word now.
With the titties part in all caps. Let's do that. So with the misconceptities of dating today, do you girls believe that we are witnessing in 2023 the death of dating and the rise of the sex worker? Kylie, we'll start with you on that.
Sheesh.
Yeah, you go first. Damn right.
Plays Jeopardy theme song.
Yo, dude.
Well, first of all, let's start here. Sex work is the oldest profession in the world.
Right.
Facts.
So that, I think there's a rise where it's more socially acceptable, where now the perception of a porn star before, people talk about the Playboy effect and how once they were in Playboy, they were no longer desirable in other areas. And I feel like that aspect is kind of going away a little bit. The OnlyFans girl is the new celebrity. So a lot of times, in some people's minds, I'm the Beyonce of their world. And it's just kind of, like managing that aspect. But I think that the dating problems have built over time, we've kind of women are a little more attuned with what they're looking for and what they're willing to accept. And I don't feel that boundary has that dating has progressed in a positive way to align with the new feelings and the new movements of women. It has actually kind of progressed, digressed and gone back. And it's like, hey, yo, bitch, if you ain't sucking this dick for some McDonald's, we ain't getting down.
Lord,
okay, well, baby,
mercy.
we ain't getting down because the people who are coming to see me, who are my clients, are bringing me money, are bringing me flowers, are bringing me liquor, are taking me out to eat, are getting me hotel rooms, know? And that's the main problem for me is I desire to have somebody in my life who is my primary partner, but I struggle with the aspect where when I invite a partner in, they're like, fuck you, you're fat ass bitch, you're always out there fucking and we're fighting and they taking away from the table and they don't never got as much money from me. But then when I'm with my clients, they have the utmost respect for me, think I'm a goddess. So that's what kills dating for me. Is that I can't find the balance of I like hood ass dudes. I like a thug. I'm like, thug me out, slut me out, baby. And so I struggle to find balance with my clients being nicer than my actual boyfriends. Yeah, and for us Libras, it's always about balance. Well, Kat, I'll throw it back to you. A lot of men in the vanilla world might react to, well, I'm not going to date a sex worker because I want to chill with my girl, and then if she's got to get up from the bed and go be intimate with somebody at her job, that's not going to sit well with me. How do you respond to that?
Holy shit. When I first started, when one of the things I had to think about really before I started was my dating life. I was like, I had, and I'm very thankful for the men that I have in my life who are, not on a romantic level, but they're like my brothers and older, father figures, what have you, right?
Good men in your life.
Yeah, shout out platonic friends.
Absolutely.
Yes,
platonic male friends.
Whenever I have a shitty male experience, I have to go to my positive male experiences. And it's not like maybe a Band-Aid effect, I don't know, but it instantly makes me feel better. Right. So anyway, and I say this because I've always had them, so I can speak to them about things. Because I know sometimes, what you doing? You fixing the hat?
Fixing the hat,
Oh, you got to fix it. Because I need to know when I'm tripping.
Right.
Or if I'm or just someone to be honest with me. So one of the things that my boy told me, he said, Kat, you've and before I even got into this, gonna say this, it's very hard to be a beautiful woman who is empowered in herself and who is very, I'm not even just talking sex workers, I'm talking about all across the board, a woman who makes her own money, who has her own goals, who likes to travel, who likes to just go out and do things. It is, I had to realize that that's very intimidating for a lot of men.
It is.
And I was always thinking, what the fuck is wrong with me? And don't get me wrong, I obviously have my issues, but it was just, because I'm the same way with you. I want a hood, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I want to be respected and coddled and held. Like, I'm a Pisces. Like, I'm sensitive like that. Like, I want that, like, I need protection. I need you to be like that, but I also need you to be soft with me. It's hard. It's very hard. And, you know, for a while, I was getting dudes who were like, okay, because I'm very honest with what I do. A lot of guys know, but if you meet me on the street, you may not know, so I tell you what I do, and usually it's a bunch of fucking questions, and I'm like, here we fucking go. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm so used to it that I think it's kind of like I've already become numb. I just kind of, like, tune out. But some of them will be like, yeah, I'm cool with that. And I just kind of look like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, I come into more feeling like they're probably not going to be cool with it than they are. You know what I mean? I'm kind of already on, like, the negative side a little bit because I've just been through it so many times where I'll talk to a guy and he'll be like, yeah. Then a couple of months or whatever goes by and he's like, actually, I don't like that. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can handle it. And I'm just like, you motherfucker, you just wasted my time. I'm getting invested in you. I thought everything was cool. Like, but, and again, and I try to say it's something obviously within them. You know what I mean? I try to take it off of me because I'm like, listen, Kat, like, you told them what it was. They knew what it was. You weren't hiding anything from them. You know what I mean? I was trying to be as communicative as possible because I think that that's a big problem. People don't communicate things to each other. And yet they still felt like, nah, actually, I can't do this. Like, that's not my fault. And that's hard to, like, accept. You're like, I just want to be fucking loved. I just want to be treated with respect the same way if I fucking worked an office job or whatever the fucking case may be.
I think that as sex workers, we deal with that consistently with any gender because even with my female girlfriends, like, I'll make a new friend. She thinks it's lit that I'm a porn star. Oh, my God, this is fucking awesome. But then as we walk into the friendship, well, don't you think you should respect yourself more?
Then the little things start to come out. You're absolutely
when
right.
you tell other females around us that you do porn.
Yeah.
And I think it's something with all human beings is like, bruh, you knew what it was when you signed up for this.
Right. I mean, a guy is allowed to change his mind, but like what I do think is that it's going to take a man who's very, 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 very secure in himself.
For sure.
You know, to understand that. And like, you know, a lot of the women I'm
not a trial experiment. That's what I'd be saying. I'd be so mad. I'm like, I'm not a fuck. Oh, you're my first porn star.
But here's the thing.
Don't let me be your first porn star. If you please,
don't tell me you know me because you know Kylie BBW. I hate that.
No.
I know you.
But if you're flying out every other weekend to go to Vegas and shoot and go to Miami and shoot and go to other places and shoot, and then he's getting off working 9 to 5, and he's coming home playing Xbox or he's hanging with his homies, and he missed that pussy, for lack of a better word, how is he gonna feel when like you're shooting with this company or you're collaborating with this creator?
Things that people don't think about, though.
I think at the end of the day, though, like it depends. Okay, so a lot of people get into content work because they're just in content work, but a lot of people get into content work because they're already escorting.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that when you have been in the industry so long, you see so much infidelity. You have the guys who come to you and say, I gotta fuck you because my wife has cancer, you know, and all these things. So you have heard so many things and experienced so many things that you don't necessarily want to put yourself in that situation of a monogamous relationship. So like for me, myself, after I've seen the darkness of cheating so much, I try to talk about people about like, hey, I'm with healthy open love principles. Let's talk about what healthy open love is. Because it's like, I think we ignore the fact that of what really, really is going on, and it keeps us stuck in a bad place because if we looked at it realistically, everybody out here motherfucking cheating. Everybody is cheating.
Seriously. Cheating their diet, cheating themselves.
Yeah.
Cheating their friends.
Yeah, you might not be fucking... Like, for example, I have some clients, there are older gentlemen clients who will fuck you in your knee pit because they believe that is not cheating because they are not fucking you in your vagina. Oh, yeah. That's how far men take it to cheat.
Wow.
So,
right off target.
Yeah. I think that... Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, like, to add to your point, I had to sit with myself and think one day, is it really possible for one person to satisfy all of my fucking needs?
It's not.
No, like, and it's not to be like, whatever, like, all full of yourself and shit. But I like a lot of different things, and sometimes I even like to be by myself. You know what I mean? And I need people who can respect that, too, because there's some people that don't understand that shit. And I'm like, no, I'm getting older. Like, there are times when especially if I've been around a lot of energies, it's like, even if it was positive, I'd be like, that's cool, but, like, now I need to be by myself for, like, a day or two, whatever the case may be. But, yeah, no, it is, we're human and we're complex. I keep saying that all the time. We are, but we're not. And I think that once you realize, like, yo, you may want, like, girlfriends who, you know, aren't in sex work, for example. Like, and you want to do other shit with your life. Like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Or my partner, he doesn't fucking like to go snowboarding. I don't fucking know, but I do. So, like, what am I going to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just all, like, these different things. Or you may have a partner that's maybe not, like, an affectionate type, but you crave that shit. You're like, I need, like, you know what I mean? Like that. You got to, like, listen to yourself. You got to be fucking honest, too. A lot of people are not honest with themselves.
Right. I know that like, every couple of years I get lonely and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it out. And the fucked up part about it is that for a little while you step away from your career, so you're put back. But not only that, but in my experience, it hasn't yet worked out for me. And then I double motherfucking down on my hoe. And I am the hoe of the year. This pussy will never be free. No content trades, no collabs. You are paying. So, you know, that part, I don't like to have that anger in my heart by opening myself up to the opportunity of love.
Yeah.
And
I feel that.
You know.
We all need love. We all need love.
But there's different kinds of love. Sorry. I just had to throw that in there. No, I did. 100%. Because there's times that I'd be like, oh, I want a love from a man. But then, like, I'm around my friends or, like, my kid or whatever. And I'm like, I'm fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, like, that moment where I was feeling down on myself and lonely or whatever. But then, like, I spend some time doing other stuff that I like to do or being around other people that I love. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm all right.
Right.
Like, I'm being, like, a little bit dramatic.
I think the aspect for me that I miss is the rawness. When you really have a man in your house, your pussy might be a little funky, but he's going to bend you over and fuck you with your ponytail. And in porn, I have to be 100% pristine, waxed, makeup, all that. And I miss, you know, someone just
yeah, you got to be perfect camera ready.
Yeah. I want you to want me when I'm a little bit raw.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Not 100% perfect, but you still want
because this should take time.
Perfection takes time, absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't really want to suck your dick right once my full face is on.
Absolutely
then I gotta redo it.
My face is going to be fucked up.
I think that's a perfect time to bring up some scene specifics. When it comes to your scenes, Kat, what goes through your mind, like, as you're shooting? Is it always pleasurable?
Yeah, it gotta be.
Okay.
It gotta be for me. Because, like, I'm a person that you can read my body language.
And every position and every angle is always pleasurable.
God damn. And I know it. You know, I'm so self-aware and so attuned with myself that, like, sometimes I don't even realize that people are talking to me and I make a face and I'm like, oh, Kat, why'd you do that?
Right,
like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, my face will say it all and you'll be like, oh, damn. And I'm a perfectionist. So I want to put out my best work, even though I know there's stuff out there that just... And things happen.
And I gotta give you a compliment because I love the way your attitude and your personality just shines through no matter what.
Thank you.
I was watching the one where you and I think her name is Lovely Luna were in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And you guys had to both suck the dildo at both ends. And then you're like, come on now. He's like, can you guys kiss each other through it? You're like, come on now. This thing is like a steering wheel.
Yo, that shit was... this fucking long, if not longer. I was like, what the fuck? And I really can't deep throw a lot. Like, you see, I got like a lot of space.
Right. Is your body 100% natural?
No.
Okay.
No,
So
I actually know that. I followed your
Thank you so much.
Your augmentation journey.
Oh, you're a real one. It's been a year, actually. An exact year.
Okay.
April 8th of last year. So, yeah.
And what did you have work on?
BBL and lipo 360. Okay. Yeah, because I had a kid. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah. It's
had
just
a little bit. Listen, I've been wanting that shit since I had my daughter. I was like, fuck this. Like, I had my daughter when I was young. I had her when I was 16.
Right.
So imagine, like...
And how hard was it to be a teen mom?
Fucking insane. Fucking insane. Everybody listen to me.
Insane in the membrane.
Like, I swear to God, and my daughter's, 14, and I stress this to all these young girls. Even the guys, I'm like, don't. Like, I swear to God, you could even get arrested when you're 14, 15, as long as it's not some crazy shit, like, and you could be good. You can bounce back from that. A kid, you cannot. You cannot. That's literally I don't want to say
life.
a problem, but it's for life. And you fuck around and have kids with the wrong person, you're going to hate yourself.
Oh, Lord,
I promise you, I thankfully, I never had to deal with that, but I've seen people who've been in situations where I'm like, I would off myself.
Right.
Like if I had to deal with a baby daddy who was like that, or deal with his girlfriend acting petty around. Oh, hell no.
Because my mother and
now when it
father
comes to kids, like no.
Sorry to cut you off. My parents have been married for nearly 40 years, and like, they're big on, I do want kids one day, but they're big on, have the kid within wedlock.
Absolutely.
And, I listen to friends and whatnot, and I think, you know what? A child is way more bonding to you than a ring will ever be.
Shit,
right.
you could get divorced from someone, forget them, whatever the fuck, move on with your life. You have a kid with that person, you got to see them forever. You got to deal with them forever. Even after your kid, it's not, when you turn 18. No. Because when your fucking kid gets married, you got to see his ass with his new wife at the wedding or whatever. Or you got to deal with the fact that there's a lot of things that you have to deal with.
You know what?
And I don't know about y'all, when a lot of us break up with someone, we don't want to fucking deal with them. We want to keep them in our past. So just keep that in mind when you're having unprotected sex and you're like, please come at me. I don't know. I say it all the time in my videos, but don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
That's acting, though.
That's just like, relax.
All right. Kat, let's do Down in the DM. Yeah. No, wait. Let's do Ever Too Much. No, wait. Oh, shit. I keep fucking shuffling between the segments because I'm lit. Okay. Let's do Skin Deep.
Like where we were.
Okay.
Did I answer your last question, by the way?
Perfectly.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
All of your tattoo work is fabulous.
Yeah.
One that sticks out to me is that you can't see it from here, but the Dragon Ball Z one on your thigh. So you're a DBZ fan.
One. Yes, I grew up.
Yeah, what character is that?
Chi-Chi. I just want to, so everybody could see, because I love my tattoos. They're part of me. But it's cold as shit out here in LA, so I gotta wear my blazer.
It's so cold.
It's cold as shit.
Sorry, I broke the weather machine.
False advertisement on the LA weather, guys.
Yeah. So, I got Chi-Chi on my leg. She's on my thigh. I have Bulma on the side. My whole leg is gonna be cartoon characters, but they're gonna be female cartoon characters.
I love it. What's your favorite DBZ saga?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm old school. I just like the original Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Like Dragon Ball Z. I like the original.
I've said this in other interviews. I never really watched the cartoon that much. As a child, I got hooked on the Budokai 2 and 3 games from PS2.
See, I got you. I played those. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah. No, but so I just got cartoon characters.
Nice.
Female.
What's this owl all about?
So my mother's favorite animal is an owl.
Okay.
They really did a nice detail.
There's a butterfly theme from the earrings to the elbow.
Yeah. So we started off, this was a cover up. Listen, with tattoos, you start with fucking one, and you're like, let me get another one.
The protectors know good and well I want many more tattoos.
Yeah, as soon as I got the cover up, the roses, I was like, well, fuck, I might as well do my whole arm.
Right.
And then I got the owl, because it's my mother's favorite. I'm very, very close to my mom, so I got the owl here for her. And then, honestly, we just went with a nature theme. That was it. It was like, well, we got the fucking owl here, the roses, might as well put some fucking butterflies and all that shit. My tattoo artist, he
one thing that I don't think we necessarily talk about in the industry is that I love tattoos. I think they're great. I think our culture loves tattoos, but porn does not love tattoos.
That's some bullshit. No, she's right. I didn't know that.
I was just wondering, were there any opportunities that you missed out on or couldn't take advantage of because of your body artwork?
Great question.
Probably.
Yeah, because with a lot of the bigger companies, they're not hiring you with tattoos.
You're absolutely right. But when I got into the industry, I had tattoos.
Right. Me too.
Like, I was already in it, and I had way less, but you know what I mean? Like, I still had, I was still tattooed. So, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just
it took me by surprise, too. You learn a lot along the way.
Yeah, I've been kind of apprehensive of tattoos because, I still do work a corporate job. Okay. So, and it's a customer service job, so, I got to be seen by people and, be all
can't have nothing
nice
like above, like here, not here.
But even, even on my neck, eventually, and I got to reach the point where I'm like, where nobody can tell me shit. Right. But eventually,
that was when I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, I do want to hit the neck one day. I just hope it's not...
It's gonna hurt.
My saggy years. Us Libras are indecisive, so
it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna
just
gonna
get
hurt.
Some numbing cream and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I got so many ideas I'll tell you about later. All right, let's go down in the DM, Kat. What is the craziest, funniest, nastiest, most out of pocket DM or email you have ever received?
Out of pocket? Okay, I mean, I get like crazy stuff like scat play and all that. I'm not into that shit.
Poopy!
Yeah, I tried it for a little while, but it's too much cleanup for me. It's not worth the money.
No, and listen, I respect
I mean, if you're going to pay
I'm
me to shit, I'm going to shit anyway. So if you want to pay me to watch it.
But here's the thing. I've given people like my rate and they're just not willing. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm very fucking sorry. Like, that's one thing I'm not doubling down on.
The scat play people are cheap.
Yeah, no, and I'm good on that. Because how the fuck... because, yeah, that's funny. Like, how you gonna come to me knowing what you're into and then haggle me for my prices? Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, other than that, I feel like I've gotten a lot of like race play stuff.
Really? Because I was about to ask you, you work with a lot of black male talent. It's one of my favorite questions to ask. What is it about the brothers that you love working with so much?
Because they love me so much. True
that. Brothers do love... I love all women. We do love Latinas too, so hey.
Yeah. Okay, so no, but I don't date, even like in my personal life, I don't date Hispanic white men. I don't.
Okay. Yeah, you don't date any other flavor but chocolate?
Yeah, pretty much.
I really don't like Hispanic men a lot.
Yeah,
either.
I don't. I really don't. And
shout out to all my Hispanic brothers. I like.
I'm very sorry for you, but
yo soy Latina, viva la raza.
I'm so sorry.
A mí no me gusta lo hombre latino, and I can tell you why if you want.
And real quick, on the Thiccness Protection Program.
And I was totally into Puerto Rican guys, like for a huge part of my life. But I think because I grew up with a really strict Colombian father, like, and they have the machismo attitude, and a lot of the men, they treat the women like shit.
Well, let me ask you this.
And I was just not, like, I noticed a pattern and shit. And I noticed just a lot of my father coming out and like the mentalities. I was like, nah, I'm going to try something different. And after, I just never looked back.
I feel that. Well, let me ask you this, Kat. How did your family react to you breaking the news? Like, hey, I do porn and many other things in sex work.
So I don't think my family was really, like, super shocked because I'm telling you, as soon as I was old enough to start doing shit, I started doing shit.
Right. So you always had potential.
Because I started doing the photography when I first started doing my boudoir, and I was like really, wearing just lingerie and shit. I was so fucking hesitant to post it like on Facebook because at the time it was Facebook. You know, I still got all my family on Facebook, whatever.
Yeah.
I was so hesitant, right? And then I had to talk with one of my cousins, and I love Vanessa. I have to give her a lot of credit because she was the person that said, fuck everybody, essentially. It's like, you're old enough, you have a kid, like, go do what you want to do. Like, what are you know what I mean? What are you holding back for? So it was that push. So then it happened little by little. But even when I was younger, like, they just knew. Like, Kat is not going to listen to anybody. Kat wants to do that. You can't tell her to not be around boys. She's going to do it. Like, you know what I mean? She's going to do whatever.
You were always confident in your own skin.
and I wanted to dye my hair different colors. And that was a big thing, especially when I was younger. Like, you can't fucking dye your hair. Right. You can't put makeup on. You can't do your nails. Like, are you fucking crazy? Like, that was not okay.
Well, I admire that, like, you always live for you.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely. But even, I feared my father because he beat my ass, and he did, but I was still going to do whatever I wanted to do.
Right. You got brothers and sisters?
One brother.
One brother, okay. What's he do?
Different, night and day. He's a manager at Family Dollar. I love him to death. Yeah, we got the Family Dollar Chronicles. He's known as the Family Dollar guy.
I didn't mean to laugh, brother.
No. He's cool. Don't worry. He's going to fucking die when I tell him this shit. It's so fucking funny. No, because, like, he's educated and all that. He went to school. He's so smart. Smarter than me. Way smarter. Cool. Hey, he's going to do other shit than Family Dollar. But you know how
it doesn't matter the name of the business. Corporate management is a bag.
Yeah.
Burger King, McDonald's, if you are the manager, you are making money.
Yeah.
Working world, get your bag.
Get your bag. Yeah. So how did they react? So real quick, okay. But when I finally decided to do like the porn stuff or whatever, I didn't like bring my family together. I tell them like, hey,
Mom, Dad, bro,
I was
I'm
already
fucked on camera.
I was already, it is what it is. But I was already the black sheep, so no one was really surprised. Like I was just like, hey, I don't even think I had a conversation. I think I just did it because that's how I was. I didn't ask for permission. I just did it,
right?
And you found out about it later. And then it was like, well, what the fuck are we going to do? But at that point, I was already at my mother's house.
Have you had a conversation with your daughter yet? Like, hey, this is what mom does for work?
Yeah.
And that went over cool?
Especially when I was old enough already, when I was making enough money, my family was like, what the fuck is this girl doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why
she's not like working a job. So like... And that's why my family can't say anything to me.
Because you're making money hand over fist and you're taking care of yourself and your baby. And because I'm taking
care of myself and my daughter, and they know me that I'm a different person outside of this shit. They know me from when I was a baby, you know, when I was born. So, like I said, and I don't mix either one with the other. Like, yeah, my family makes jokes about me all the time, especially, like, you know, my family's Hispanic, so they'll always say the black fever jokes, like, you know, over Thanksgiving, over Thanksgiving or the barbecue and all that shit. They'll make jokes like that, but it's not like we have, like, a process of talking about it, because I'm 31 years old. I have a teenage daughter. Like, I handle my business. So, like...
This is the thing that I think about it, is that people try to make the implication that somehow you are a bad parent because your child knows that you have OnlyFans. But the reality is that if you have a child, ain't no motherfucking way you could hide it from them. Because why is it 3 p.m. in the afternoon and you are picking me up from work in a full makeup and lashes and your hair is done and you was just supposed to be chilling at the house?
They was already looking at me because I'm the young mom.
Yeah.
They was already looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I would come in my short shorts. I don't give a fuck.
And
it's
your
hot
daughter's
outside.
sitting out there in the lobby. Do people ask all the time, oh, are y'all sisters?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. And like but we've gotten like used to it already. And like, I'm just so thankful that she's 14 and mature. Right. And I think that this generation, though, like, even like she tells her friends what I do, like, they're very accepting. They don't look at it as, ew, that's disgusting. They're like, oh, your mom could take you to LA?
Right. Because these kids have grown up on the internet.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so they're like,
I mean, as did we, but like,
but way more now. You know?
I mean, I used to think it was cool that my mom, you know, was picking us up to go to field trips in the fucking 91 Land Cruiser, and we had the GameCube in the back seat, you know, on the little screen.
And I have time.
We were listening to Snoop, like, Mama, Maria, you're the shit. You know?
And the thing is, I have time for my daughter, which honestly... I'll tell you this right fucking now. When I was working my 40-hour work week, my 9 to 5 or whatever, this corporate fucking job or whatever the fuck, I did not have time for my daughter.
That's how I was.
It was fucking insane because I would have to be at the fucking office 8:30, take 4 fucking trains. Like, it was ridiculous. And then the same thing going back home. So if it took me an hour or whatever to get to work, it'd probably take me an hour or more just to get home. Yep. I get home and it's already 6 o'clock. It could be dark outside already. And then if I want to go to the gym or if I have errands to run or shit to do, like when I get home out of work because that's the only time I can do anything, what time do I have for my daughter?
Versus mostly she gotta working go to from bed. Home and making a bigger bag.
She got to go to bed at a certain time. Like, she's little. Like, I can't have her stay up with me or whatever the case may be. No. Like, it was, and then the weekends flew by.
Right.
It was like, oh, it's okay. I'll spend time with her on the weekend. You don't realize that you got to go grocery shopping on the weekend. You got to do laundry on the weekend. Your day is your time is done.
Right.
Word. Let me ask you this, and Kylie, you can kind of chime in. Ever too much? Has anything in a scene ever been like just too much? Like, just tap out, cut the camera. I ain't doing that. Like, hold up. Can you give an instance where?
So if I'm a size queen for sure. I love my big dicks. You hear me? I love my big dicks. But there are times when sometimes big is big. Like, no. Big is huge. And I'm tiny. I'm 4'10", right?
Yeah. I was about to say, you know, I mostly interview BBWs, but you're the first LBW.
But I like my dicks big. You know what I'm saying? So I can't complain about it, but there definitely were instances where, yeah, you had to, like, certain angles. You try to go all the way inside me, I'm like, and it's hard for me to, like, because I want the scene to keep going. I want to see how much I can take without me being like, you know what I mean? Like, but there were times when I was just like, all right, like, you got to chill. You got a fucking tree trunk, like my fucking whole arm.
That's his penis, the whole arm?
The whole arm.
Some of them.
I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, so there were times I had to be like, okay, like, we got to, like, switch positions, you can't go that fast or that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Or even in my mouth, too, because I got a little mouth. Like, I can't, you know?
What that mouth do, it does enough.
It does enough. It does a good job, but still sometimes y'all, like, and literally when it's, like, this fucking thick, I'm like, I can't even put a hot dog in my mouth that big.
Like, shout out Samaj Media. I always feel bad for them.
Samaj, you need to get down with the thickness, bro.
Shout out Samaj Media. He has such a big dick, and I love throwing up for dicks, but I can't do it for him because his is like... I can only get like the first 2 inches in before I like.
And Samaj's a believer too, and I like that guy because he's every chunky nigga's like dream of getting laid with any bitch.
Yeah, you know? so he always tries to say that he has a 3-inch dick, but he has like a 11-inch dick.
3 inches off the floor.
Guy. I definitely want to interview him. You're invited back when I do that one.
One thing, so for me, where the sense of overwhelm comes from is neurodivergency. I am ADHD, and I tried to do like a reverse gangbang with Thor and 4 or 5.
I think I saw that. You shot that at Girls Gone Wireless, right?
It's like, Girls Gone Wireless.
Chanel and
like
Monique were in that. Julie
Chanel,
Ginger,
Monique, Julie
Paw.
Ginger, TT Paw.
All of which you have gotten down with the thickness.
Yeah, all my homegirls. And I got overwhelmed by the whole situation. And I could feel inside my spirit and my body that I was getting overwhelmed. I could feel that it was time for me to leave. And in the end, I ended up having a meltdown on top of when I got the video back. I could see in the video I was an angry ass bitch. I was like it's like a whole gangbang. We all fucking, and I'm at the end of the bed like,
pouting.
No. When you got on him, reverse cowgirl, and all the other chicks were like touching each other on the side. Like, get it, Kylie.
Like, associated again with the neurodivergency. If I'm not into it, I don't have the capability to lie or act or pretend. One time, I was
probably have that too because I can't do it either.
Yeah, I was like
God.
really. I was working
so
with
mad.
another artist, and I was really trying to pretend for them. And finally, I work with Open Legs Media, and one of them was like, "No, we need to cut it. I can tell you're not in it." Yeah. So that's where the overwhelm comes from me. I haven't really got like any supersized dicks where I'm like, no, I don't know if I could take it yet.
No Quan with the long schlong. Word. Right. Ladies, last question before we hit the Instagram questions. Biggest misconception of a porn star, sex worker, or someone in your profession. Kat, take it away.
I live a normal life. So normal. It's boring. Like,
Your life is not fucking boring.
Well, like, I think some people think that I shoot all the time or whatever, but in reality, I only have sex a couple times a month, maybe. Right. It's really not. The only time I'm getting fucked a lot is when I'm in a relationship. For sure. Because I'm getting relationship dick, and it's like, we're fucking all the time. You know what I mean? But, like, you have that sense of trust when you're with somebody, too.
Yeah.
I don't trust a lot of people. I don't. You know what I mean? And I've tried to have sex with civilians and they don't want to get tested and it's a hot mess.
Oh, so bad. Vanilla people really think STDs don't exist.
They think we have them. And I'm like, when's the last time you got fucking tested? I just went last week. When did you go?
You don't gotta worry about me. I don't do that.
Or I go every 3 months or 4 months or like twice a year. And I'm like, but you fuck a lot. That's my thing. I'm like, if you're not having sex, all right, but you're not. You're having sex. So
especially with males, because trichomonas, you can't even, the male has no symptoms. Mm-hmm. So it's
a lot
only
of things
when
you don't have
trichomonas.
Yeah, it's an STD. So
why is that so ironic?
When it lives in a male's penis, he has no effects. But when he puts it in the women's vagina, then it becomes effective.
And you get that with a full panel test, too.
Yep.
I've had to educate so many people on full panel testing. And I don't, listen, if you're not in the industry, if I wasn't in the industry, I wouldn't fucking know. I had to educate nurses, okay, about this shit because they didn't fucking know about the because I'm very honest with anybody who does my blood. They know what the fuck I do, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I told them one time about talent testing and all that. Oh, they have a service for you guys. Yeah, what the fuck do you think we do? Like, I don't know, whatever the case may be, but I've had to educate people who are even in the field, so to speak.
That happened with me with the swabbing, and they told me that I did not. They told me I did not know about STD testing. Then
the nurses,
yes, and then they called me back and said I had needed to have an emergency meeting with the what was it, infectious disease specialist.
Oh,
and then I said no, I'm not doing that. And then they called me back and had me come into an appointment, and they made me let the doctor insert the Q-tip. And I said, when we go to the testing place, they just let me go to the bathroom and do it myself. So I had to be whole stirrup getting the Q-tip from my doctor and the assistant. I was like, I'll never come back here and tell you guys about this again.
Yeah, it's a fucking shame though, honestly. We try our best to educate people. You know what I mean? It's it's honestly to educate.
Right on. Well, let's get into some Instagram questions. Crazy Underground, love that name by the way, asks, do you want to shoot for a big porn company? If so, what company would you want to work with?
I don't know. Like, okay, I've always said that I wanted to do at least like one like major pro shoot. But I don't know for who because there's there's like so much shit with these porn companies that I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of turned off, to be honest, by a lot
Have
of
you
stuff.
worked with big companies, or are you mostly an independent
I
creator?
mean, you know, I've worked with, like, I would say smaller companies. I mean, I was on Habib show and stuff like that. Like,
it's the Habib show.
Yeah,
I liked Habib. I met him at AVN.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I love every opportunity that I've gotten, no matter how big or small. I don't really, the only reason why I'd say I just want at least one pro shoot, I would just be like, hey, like, I was, just to be able to say, like, I'm a kind of person that I like opportunities, you know what I mean? Even if, like, I'll take it and I'll run with it, you know what I mean? I'll be like, oh, hey, like, could see me on here, like, okay, that's my scene. But, like, now when we were talking the other day, or the moment ago, about tattoos and stuff, I'm like, well, I don't know if it's going to happen, you know what I'm saying? What am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? I am who I am. I'm proud of who I am and how I look. So if someone doesn't want me because I'm not part of their look, then okay.
I think the aspect that people don't really discuss is that when you are hired by the production companies, they are not paying enough. So realistically, you're breaking even on the shoot. So you have to utilize your business principles in that example. So when I went to business school, they said, if you have a business opportunity and you're going to break even on that top opportunity, you take it because you get the word of the mouth and other
promotion
things.
And all that
I think
stuff,
that's where the value added is of getting hired by the companies. Right. You're not making a lot of money. It's not really a super fantastic situation, but you get on their platform and you get their marketing capability.
Right. And one line, Kylie, that's always stuck out to me when I first interviewed you was that you said, you know, you shoot with the big companies because it really gets your name and your brand out there. And you said, and I can edit this out if it's too, like, right there, but like you said, hey, porn ain't nothing but commercials to sell pussy.
Yeah, that's and maybe not for everybody, because now that I've been to AVN, I met a lot of the women who are just exclusively content creators, but that's not the girls I'm running with, and that's not the girls I know. Right. At the end of the day, and even for me personally, when they took away Backpage, you were either had the choice to become a porn star or become a streetwalker, and I became a porn star. So that's where it's at for a lot of us.
Elevated. So next Instagram question from Crazy Underground says, do you plan on having guests on your podcast soon?
Yeah, I started my own because I had a podcast when I was in Jersey, but this was before COVID and stuff like that. And I like when you could have like guests on and stuff like that. Like right now, I just do my own solo stuff on Spotify, but like, and it's cool. But yeah, I do like miss like interacting with someone because so someone else could ask me questions or I like to have another point of view other than my own.
Can we be guests on your podcast?
Yeah, for sure.
I think that one thing that isn't touched on enough also in the industry is that, okay, so I like Why Not. I was referred to Why Not by Sarah J. And when the pandemic started, they had their conferences online. So I watched all of their stuff. And they talked about how it's important as content creators to do safe for work content.
Absolutely.
Because people who find you on porn sites are preconditioned to know that porn is free. People who find you through your safe for work content are like, oh my God, this girl has porn too.
And
then they will cash out.
And that's always the thing I admired about you as a YouTuber, even though you're early on in your journey with that. Like I've always admired that, like you do come correct. Pun intended. Pun. I don't know if it's intended or unintended.
You meant it.
But yeah, sure. You do always, put that full foot forward on the YouTube stuff as you would in the porn scene.
Yeah, because I'm just a creative person. Like that's just who I am as an individual.
And I hope from this this episode, there's going to be many more Thiccness Protection Program or Palm, Cat and Spanish Barbiie collaborations and Kylie collaborations.
I'm having such a great time.
So I always want, the guests to become reoccurring characters in my universe, whether it be on Palm or whether it be on Thiccness Protection Program.
Right.
Last but not least, LP999 asked, what is your favorite lingerie color to wear?
Am I going to say blue because it just goes with my hair? Yeah, I like a nice light blue. Because I think it looks good with my tan. I got some nice tan skin. It just does something to me. So I'll probably say light blue. Nice. So get me some light blue lingerie.
Sky blue.
Just saying.
Check her Amazon wish list.
Absolutely. Check.
Sure.
Yeah. Buy me some stuff.
All right. Well, ladies, this has been awesome. Nothing but a pleasure. Starting with you, Kat, go ahead and plug where they can follow you and check out all your content.
Absolutely. So you can check me out, like on my 10th Instagram, Real Spanish XBarbie, because I know that there's so many bots and fake accounts, but like, you know which one looks real. This is literally only one. But you can honestly go on SpanishXBarbie.com, and that's where you'll find everything, like all my links, my many vids, OnlyFans, my Twitter, just SpanishXBarbie.com. Remember, it's 2 eyes with the Barbie, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more Googleable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eyes,
just just go fucking Google. See my X videos and all that shit. So
yeah, that's same for me. Just head to Google, type in ITSKYLIEBBW, which is my screen name for Twitter. Used to be my Instagram, but y'all know how they do us.
Yeah.
And it will pull up my X videos, my OnlyFans, all of the things that you want to see or know about me.
There you go. And for me, you can check me out on Instagram at the Thiccness Protection Program. Twitter is at Thiccness Pro. Please make sure you are following on Spotify, Thiccness Protection Program on Spotify. Then youtube.com/PalmOfficial. Hey, if you're an unsigned or independent artist looking for a review of your music, you can hit me up on the DMs at _PA.LM. And until next time, ladies, join me in this chat. We want thickness. We want thickness. We want thickness.
We want thickness.
Thank you so much.
We out.
Had a great time.
Thank you, Kat, for joining
Bye.
Thiccness.
We want